Okay, what I wanted to go over is some of the parts that I use for the 12-volt system on the Fucare e-bikes, the Gemini and the Gemini X. It all starts with the step-down transformer, this one, which receives 72 volts and steps it down to 12 volts. Some of the fittings to make that happen off the 72 volt battery are these. Actually, there's a few more fittings. And then some of the controls for the lighting, the blinker switch, of course, is here where you got the horn, the blinkers, and then these will be used for the headlights, the low beam, high beam. And then these switches will be used for some of the auxiliary lighting that would be beneath the bike. And this is a voltage meter that will be used to let you know what the voltage is for the e-bike battery, the 72 volt battery. For the blinkers, of course, these are the noisemakers that will control the sound and the blinking thing with the e-bikes. And then here, all 12 volt systems will be controlled by this. So you can just hit this button and then it would turn off all the 12 volt lighting. The rear blinking and marker lights are one pair of these with the bar that I bought to attach these two. And then these two are also just blinkers. And then these two will go on the front forks as blinkers and also marker lights. This light strip here goes under the bike for additional lighting. And also these also go below the bike for additional lighting. And of course a 12 volt motorcycle horn, that's very loud. And then also the rear tail lights, and they're also blinkers. Over here I have the new headlight and a couple of cameras, which the Gemini X already has a front and rear camera, but I'll be adding another camera also. And of course a cellular tracker, which is on both bikes, which I can't say enough good about. That the way I have it wired up, that it charges every time you charge the battery. And it's running 24 hours a day, and you get a tilt alarm or whatever. I'll get movement alarm and I'll know exactly where the bikes are. And never have to worry about charging it because I have it wired to off the 72 volt battery, the USB port to charge this. This is an example of the old system that's on the Gemini X that we're doing away with. The Gemini already has the whole 12 volt system, which here's an example of the Gemini bike with new camera and of course the lighting that will go on the rear. There's a lot here and it takes a ton of wiring to make all of this happen, and through trial and effort it all comes together to where basically all these parts are, by the way, motorcycle parts that on 12 volt type system. The usual bicycle stuff was just not enough lighting, and you had to charge it all the time by USB, and of course that got old. So now every time you charge the bike, you're charging the 12 volt system, you know, that runs off the 72 volt because it's a step down transformer. And even if you don't want the lights, like I said, you can just, you know, kill all the power, which kills the whole 12 volt system. But of course, if you want all the blinkers and the tail lights and everything else, then You turn it on, of course, with that switch, and you're completely lit up like a Christmas tree. So this is the beginning, and I'll go through, when I do install this on the Gemini X. Like I said, the Gemini already has all of this, plus more. And the Gemini X actually has a fancy camera system already installed on it. So I probably won't put these two cameras on the bike, but I'll at least put one of them, I think. And this is what the Gemini X currently looks like, which is the old bicycle type stuff, which is annoying to charge. And what I ended up doing was to charge it all without having to take everything off, is that I created a junction to where when I charge it all of them. But that's irritating even still. So all it is that you're looking at will be replaced. This is the old way, the old bicycle way, and I don't think this way is the future. I think going 12 volt motorcycle style is the future, and that's what I'm doing. Because on one bike, that's what's been working for almost 2,000 miles of traveling on the Gemini. And also, that's probably real important to mention, is that both bikes have, the front motor is 2,000 watts with 72 volts, and the rear motors are 72 volts at 3,000 watts. The front motor battery is the one that's powering all of the 12 volt system. The rear battery motor is all nothing but power. There's 3 batteries on each bike. So basically, when you get home, you just plug in to recharge the batteries, instead of recharging a bunch of USB stuff and the usual bicycle stuff. So you're just charging, plug in 3 batteries, and your whole 12 volt system is being charged. And like I said, you're monitoring your voltage here, because you have a voltmeter that's telling you exactly how much power you're using for your 12 volt system. I think in the future I'll probably add a 4th small battery that will piggyback off, that will support all the 12 volt, but I haven't gotten that far yet. For right now, with the mileage that we do, the 12 volt system being stepped down from 72 volts from the front motor is enough to power all the headlights, the blinkers, because on the rear, when you hit the blinker switch, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lights that blink on each side of the bike. In addition to, up underneath, these guys are blinking also. So there's a lot of blinking going on. You're highly visible. So like nighttime riding, the bikes are more visible than a motorcycle. A motorcycle doesn't have this much lighting on it. And then if somebody, gets in your way, well, you've got a really loud horn. And of course, I keep the regular bicycle thing horn on it also. But then of course, if you're running low on power, which we haven't had the problem, you can kill all your 12 volt system with that and just be, on your own. But so far that hasn't happened. But anyway, we're gonna probably upgrade as far as power goes to the whole 12 volt system, and upgrade the rear motor even more. But right now we're running 5,000 watts, 2,000 in the front, 3,000 in the rear, and not gonna say what speed, but what speed we can do. And they're Food Care e-bikes, the Gemini and the Gemini X, and we can take on any hill and without pedaling. And at the same time, we've got the power to produce enough lighting to where everybody sees us. And of course, there's cameras everywhere and a tracker, everything. So this is where I am, and this is what we're doing. And as I install all of this on the Gemini X, I'm probably going to videotape as I do all the work to install all of this, which is a lot, but I've done it once before, so hopefully this time it'll be a lot easier. But anyway, stay tuned. So hopefully, I'll film how I wire all of this up, because it's confusing, especially with all these switches and controls. But once it's all done, I kid you not, it is worth it, because you could turn off, one thing I like to add also is that, with this particular switch right here, this switch will control some of the underlighting. So if you don't want the underlighting on your bike, because these three will be underlighting, these two will be on the forks, okay? And say you don't want to be, that visible, one of these switches will kill that, and that's a benefit. And like I said, these two switches is high beam, low beam, and of course this, is your blinkers, your horn, and yeah. But anyway, stay tuned. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Talk to you soon. Hey, some of the following video, if you stuck with me this far, is going to be some pictures and video of me doing the upgrade on the Gemini bike, and all the things that we've done to upgrade these bikes. This one right here, of course, is the Gemini, and this is what the how do I say, the front console looks like, with some of the cameras and switches and everything. On the Gemini X, this is what it currently looks like with some of the cameras and everything, but it doesn't have a 12-volt system. It has a lot of cameras. There's probably actually 6 cameras on this bike, and of course the stereo that's controlled here with speakers. So basically, when I'm driving down the street, got a sound system also, which I'm not going to get into today, but that's a whole nother subject. But anyway, between sound controls, cameras, blinkers, lighting, and lighting for all occasions, I think it's a winner system, and I wish that they would sell the e-bikes to where all of this was compacted into one screen, but unfortunately they don't. I've got different things for security and GPS and cameras, and I wish it was all controlled in one control panel, but it's not, so I had to buy it piecemeal, and it works for us. And stay tuned, and let you know how the next bike upgrade goes, and I'm excited, and I'm also thinking about upgrading the rear motor to make it even stronger. But anyway, that's the future. Thanks for watching.